4, Elise Stolbeck, senior. Number 5, senior Jamie Mullins. Number 6, junior Kim Nguyen. Number 7, sophomore Yvonne Tam. Number 8, senior Megan Sidorowicz. Number 9, senior Maria McGinnis. Number 10, senior May Ho. Number 11, junior Christina Ford. Number 12, junior Jenny Wong. Number 13, senior Liz Grabado. Number 14, junior Marilia Perella. Number 15, freshman Maria Dela Cruz. Number 16, senior Alyssa Diarani. Number 17, senior Alicia Huang. Number 18, sophomore Allison Opperly. Number 19, sophomore Lauren Akins. And number 23, junior Kendra Ciccone. Head coach for North Quincy is Jim Rendell. Assistant coaches Courtney Mitchell, Raymond Chen, and Chris Dolan. Now the home team, whose score will appear in the Hudson column on the scoreboard, Quincy High School. Number 2, senior Bonnie Hurdle. Number 4, senior Caitlin Callahan. Number 5, junior Desiree Weiner. Number 7, junior Nicole Cahill. Number 8, sophomore Nicole Casanoff. Number 9, senior Nikki Grollo. Number 11, junior Andrea Pettinelli. Number 12, sophomore Leanna Lamb. Number 13, sophomore Kim Lavelle. Number 14, senior Rachel Sorensen. Number 15, junior Nicole O'Sullivan. Number 17, sophomore Ashley Scott. Number 19, senior Kristen Paluzzi. Number 20, junior Rebecca Sorensen. Head coach for Quincy is Christine Barrett. Assistant coaches Ed Smith and Carrie Duffy. Now we invite all to stand for...
Good evening, QATV viewers. We're here at Hudson High School this evening for tonight's Central State Division I sectional final between North Quincy High School and Quincy High School. Quincy High will be in the white uniforms with the blue piping, and North Quincy in red with white trim. We've had the player introductions. Teams have met at midcourt, and we're about ready to start our game action momentarily. Quincy High comes in as the number 2 seed in the central bracket of the tournament. Their current record is 20-3. In their last match, they defeated Boston Latin 3-0. North Quincy comes in as the number 8 seed. In their sectional semifinal match, they defeated Newton North in 5 games. Down in the decisive 5th game, 13-8, they rallied to win 15-13 to defeat Newton North. It's the 3rd time these teams are meeting this year, with Quincy holding a 2-0 edge, winning both matches at North Quincy High. In the first match of the year, they defeated North in straight games 2-0, and at Quincy High School later in the year, they defeated North 2-1. North is on the right in red again, and Quincy on the left in white. Bonnie Hurdle to serve for Quincy High. Mayho hits it over and long for Quincy, so for North rather, Quincy's on the board with the first point of tonight's match. Tonight's match is a best of 5. First team to win 3 games wins the match. If the teams are tied at 2, After the fourth game, the fifth game is played to 15 points. Scoring is done by the Rally scoring system, which means each play is awarded 1 point irrespective of the team serving. Mayho at the service line for North. And her serve is shanked. Mayho was at the service line the other night at Newton North, and she ran the table on Newton North. To win the match, she has a very effective float serve. Nicole O'Sullivan was dug there by Quincy. Probably the best hitter on the court tonight, Nicole O'Sullivan, number 15 for Quincy. Quincy on the board with a putback. We're tied at 2. Rebecca Sorensen at the service line for Quincy, a short serve. Kendra Ciccone hits it over for North, and it's bumped back out of bounds. Point for North Quincy. North Quincy with the lead at 3-2. At the service line for North now is Megan Sidorowicz, number 8. O'Sullivan rolls it over from the back line, and it falls in for a point. Defensive specialist, the libero, number 4 for North Quincy, and now Elise Dolbeck, replacing Megan Sidorowicz. And O'Sullivan serves. An ace for Quincy. Quincy leads 4-3. Sorry, Quincy trails 4-3. We're at Hudson High School this evening. O'Toole for North sets it over the net, but Quincy can't put it over. North gets the point. Sophomore Erin Connolly at the service line now for North Quincy. That's bumped over, hit back by Maria McGinnis for North Quincy. It's now pushed over by Quincy. Middle set to McGinnis. It's passed up by Bonnie Hurdle. And now Nicole Cahill is dug by Mayho. And May hits it over back row. And that ball is hit out of bounds by Nicole O'Sullivan. In the last match, Quincy was able to dig most North Quincy spike attacks, and that was the difference in the match. They made good passes, controlled the ball, and got into their offense. North played defensively. Can they change things around tonight? McGinnis hits it over for North Quincy. Now O'Sullivan hits back row. She's dug by Connolly. Ciccone for North. And Bonnie Hurdle hits. It's bumped up. Now pushed over by O'Toole for North, and it goes long. Quincy was supposed to be the home team on the scoreboard, but it appears that North has been given that distinction. Quincy takes the lead at 7-6 on that North Quincy error. Caitlin Callahan serving for Quincy. McGinnis for North hits it down the line. The dig goes out of bounds. North Quincy with the point. Jamie Mullen in for North Quincy to serve. Middle set to Cahill. She tips for a point. Andrea Pettinelli serving now for Quincy, and that goes right through the hands of the North Quincy defender for a service ace. And Quincy has opened up a 2-point lead at 9-7. O'Toole sets right side, but Maria McGinnis hits it into the net. Quincy with another point on that hitting error. Ciccone back in for North, replacing Mullen. Connolly hits it over for North. Pettinelli was about to hit that ball, but she was called off by O'Sullivan for Quincy. Fell to the floor. And Maria McGinnis for North. Hits the ball under the net. Service error, point Quincy. Quincy 10, North Quincy 8. Nicole Cahill serving for Quincy. North bumps it over. It's dug up. But setter Andrea Pettinelli went into the net. That's an error and a point for North Quincy. North Quincy bumps it back on that O'Sullivan tip. Now Hurdle hits outside. And a one-handed dig by Ciccone, but she can't keep the ball in play. Quincy with another point. They now lead by 3 at 12-9. Kristen O'Toole back in. North with another point, as Quincy couldn't bump the ball back over. Mayho serving for North Quincy. And again, some miscommunication by Quincy leads to an easy North Quincy point. Tipped over by Sorensen. Connolly hits right side, but that goes long. Point Quincy. Quincy 13, North Quincy 11. Now Sorensen serves into the net. And another service error for North Quincy as Megan Sidorowicz puts it into the net. Service ace. For Nicole O'Sullivan, she stays at the service line and serves this one out. North Quincy with the serve, trailing 13-15 in game one. Erin Connolly puts it up. Connolly hits it over. It's dug by O'Sullivan. And now Cahill hits middle. Again, a dig from Connolly. Mayho hits it over for North. Cahill past the block for a point. Nicole Cahill along with Nicole O'Sullivan for Quincy. They're two big offensive weapons. Caitlin Callahan in to serve now for Quincy, just over the net. Outside set to Hurdle, bumped up off the block. Mayho now hits it back row, dug by O'Sullivan. Nice pass. And McGinnis stuff blocks Nicole Cahill for North Quincy point. Jamie Mullen back in, replacing Kendra Ciccone. And Callahan passes the ball out of bounds. Point North Quincy. North Quincy trails by 1 at 15-16. And Mullen's serve just goes out. Point Quincy. Quincy 17, North Quincy 15. Pettinelli with the hard serve that's brought up by Mullen. Mayho hits it over. And a double contact is called on setter Andrea Pettinelli of Quincy, point North Quincy. Sidorowicz back in the front row, replacing Dolbeck. McGinnis with the serve. And her long floater just catches the end line. Callahan can't bring it up. We're tied at 17. And now we have a substitution for North Quincy. Sophomore number 19, Laura Akins, in replacing Maria McGinnis. She'll go to the service line. Callahan hits it over for Quincy. Outside tight set is blocked, but it goes out of bounds. Point North Quincy. Quincy takes the lead at 18-17. Pettinelli puts up a back set for Cahill, but she puts it into the net. North Quincy by 2 at 19-17. Akins continuing to serve for North. That one goes wide. So with that, Quincy gets a point in the serve. Nicole Cahill at the service line for Quincy. Quincy runs a 6-2 offense most of the time with two setters, Pettinelli and Sorensen, who alternate the setting duties, making each other available as hitters. And a lift call or a double contact is called on Sorensen for Quincy. North again by 2 at 20-18. Maria Delacroce, number 15, in to serve for North. Hurdle hits it over. Dig from Ciccone. And Megan Sidorowicz, the middle, went to set that ball, was called for a double contact. Quincy with the point on that error. Score is 20-19. North Quincy in the lead. We're in game one action in this best of 5 sectional final. Hurdle with the serve for Quincy. Connolly hits it over. Now Cahill hits back row, and she hits a liner that can't be dug. Quincy with the point. We're tied at 20. O'Toole gets called for a double contact on that back set, so Quincy back in the lead at 21-20. Now Hurdle serves into the net. We're tied. Mayho up to serve for North. Sorensen sets back to O'Sullivan, and she's blocked by Sidorowicz and Ciccone. Point North Quincy. And Mayho with the service ace. This Cahill can't control. North by 2 at 23-21. And Quincy coach Christine Barrett calls a timeout. Quincy looking a little shaky, not controlling the ball. Wants to settle down her team. We'll be back in a second. We're back to action after the Quincy timeout, with North leading 23-21 in game 1. Hurdle passes it up. And it goes over the net and out of bounds. North with another point. North by 3 at 24-21. Now O'Sullivan passes it up and gets the middle set. She tips. It's dug by O'Toole at the net. Connolly pushes it over for North. O'Sullivan now hits it, dug by Mayho. Ciccone puts it up. And North looks at it and it goes long. Lack of communication on the floor there between Maria McGinnis and Megan Sidorowicz. Sorensen with the serve. It's bumped over by Sidorowicz. Now O'Toole sets middle to Sidorowicz. Up off the block. Bumped up by Hurdle. Nice dig from Bonnie Hurdle. But Cahill bumps it wide. And North Quincy again by 3. Alyssa Durrani, we're seeing her for the first time tonight, which is unusual. She's usually in the starting lineup. She'll come in to serve, replacing Sidorowicz. Short floater. Bumped over by Quincy. Now Connolly hits it right side, cross court and wide. Point Quincy. Dolbeck in replacing Durrani. O'Sullivan with the serve. Mayho hits it over, dug by O'Sullivan. Now Paluzzi is blocked at the net, but it is bumped over by Cahill. Middle set to McGinnis. She hits it long. Quincy within 1 at 24-25. Again, a lack of communication on the floor as Ciccone and McGinnis both went for that ball simultaneously and couldn't put it over the net. We're tied at 25. And O'Sullivan's string at the service line ends with that service error. North Quincy goes back in the lead by 1 at 26-25. Games must be won by 2, and Connolly does Quincy a favor by serving it under the net for another service error. So again, we're tied. Callahan. Caitlin Callahan, number 4, in for Quincy to serve. Mayho hits it into the net for North. So we're seeing a lot of errors, not much termination on either side, and that's what's giving the opposing teams their points for the most part. McGinnis, stuck by Callahan, but it goes out of bounds. We're at 27 all. Mullen in replacing Ciccone for North. And Quincy can't control the serve. 4 hits. North in the lead again by 1 at 28-27. Sorensen bumps it over for Quincy. Middle set to McGinnis. McGinnis taps it down for the kill. North Quincy has game point in game 1, leading 29-27. And Quincy coach Christine Barrett calls her second and final timeout of game 1. We'll be back in a sec. We're back. North Quincy will have the serve. Seeking a game 1 victory, Jamie Mullen at the service line. Middle set to Cahill. She tips it over. Now McGinnis taps it down for the kill. And North Quincy wins game 1, 30-27. Can Quincy come back? They dominated North during the regular season, but they're struggling now to pass balls. We'll see when we return to action. The teams will switch sides. We'll be back for game 2 after this next break. We're back for game 2, and we start out with another error following an error-filled game 1. Service error by Mayho for North isn't totally out of context to start the second game. Short serve now by Sorensen. Outside set to Ciccone. It goes up off the block. O'Sullivan pushes it over, and she's called for a double contact. Nicole O'Sullivan, a very effective hitter. The best hitter on the court this evening, but she's not making full use of her skill. Now she hits it into the net. And North is in the lead in game 2, 2-1. Sidorowicz serving for North. Hurdle bumps it over for Quincy. Middle set to McGinnis. She tips it over. It's dug by Cahill, and Sorensen sets outside to Ashley Scott, who pushes it over. And again, Quincy looking very flat this evening, not showing any of the sort of ball control that they exhibited in their 2 matches earlier this year for North. And they can't get into their offense at all. And another point for North. A service ace by Megan Sidorowicz. North Quincy 4, Quincy 1. Sidorowicz, service error, point Quincy. Nicole O'Sullivan at the service line now for Quincy. Outside to McGinnis, she goes line. Bumped over by Quincy by Hurdle. Now Ciccone hits line. That's nice dig there by O'Sullivan, and Ashley Scott rolls it over for a kill. Quincy showing a little bit of defensive skill and a little bit of fire on that point from Ashley Scott. They're going to need a few more plays like that to get back into this match. And again, communication error. We're seeing it on both sides. Two players going for balls simultaneously and losing points as a result. O'Sullivan with the service error, and now Quincy has taken the lead at 5-4 in game 2. O'Toole tips it over for North. Quincy players are out there yelling at each other. I don't see what purpose that serves. but they managed to get the point and lead by 2 at 6-4. A lift call on Sorensen. Aaron Connolly serves it up for North. That's over the net. O'Toole went to hit it back over, but didn't. Point Quincy. Ashley Scott at the service line for Quincy. Outside set to McGinnis. She hits it long. O'Toole on a back set to Mayho. Mayho puts it away for the kill. Quincy with the point. They trail 6-8 in game 2. Caitlin Callahan back in for Quincy. That ball just goes over the net. Quincy couldn't bring it up. Service ace. Mullen now will come in to serve for North. North trails by 1. Short serve. Outside set to Hurdle, up off the block. That goes for a point. I don't know whether Elise Dolbeck thought that ball was not touched, but she didn't play it, and it was right in her wheelhouse. Quincy by 2 at 9-7. Andrea Pettinelli at the service line. Mayho hits it into the net for North. Dolbeck hits it over. It's hit right back by Hurdle. Pettinelli sets outside to Cahill, and she's blocked. Blocked by McGinnis and O'Toole. Point North Quincy. Maria McGinnis will go in to serve for North. North trailing 8-10. Pettinelli back set to Cahill. It's blocked up. Connolly hits it over. And a 4-hit call on Quincy. Kill from Aaron Connolly. North within 1 at 9-10. Nice pass by O'Sullivan. Hurdle hits middle. She puts it wide. We're tied at 10. And McGinnis serves short. So Quincy goes back into the lead at 11-10. Nicole Cahill at the service line for Quincy. She serves an ace. Quincy by 2. Connolly is blocked up. Nice save there by Callahan as she punched it up, and Hurdle hits it over. Nice dig there from Caitlin Callahan. Quincy by 3. McGinnis passes it over for North. Pettinelli back set to O'Sullivan. It's bumped up by Ciccone. And Connolly hits it into the net for North. Quincy by 4, 14-10. Middle set to Sidorowicz. She hits it into the net. Quincy has gone on a roll now. They lead by 5. Dolbeck comes in replacing McGinnis. Tipped over by O'Toole. It's at the net. Tipped over by O'Sullivan for a kill. Some quick play at the net from Nicole O'Sullivan gives Quincy a 6-point lead at 16-10. Mayho just hits it over into the dead area in the middle of the court for a point, so that stops the Quincy run. But North still trails by 5 at 11-16. Maria Della Croce in to serve for North. Callahan bumps it wide. And Della Croce's serve just clips the net. She'll come out. O'Toole back in for North. Quincy again by 5 at 17-12. Ashley Scott back in this front row for Quincy. Mayho hits right side, but long. Point Quincy. Floater from Hurdle goes through Ciccone's hands. Connolly hits it over short. Pettinelli at the net. She was in the net, but no call by the ref. Bumped over by North. And Ashley Scott, the nice stroke from the outside, puts it down for a kill. Quincy by 7 at 19-12. McGinnis bumps it over. Nice dig by Hurdle. Tip by O'Sullivan. Left-handed tip by Nicole O'Sullivan. Nicole O'Sullivan is starting to take charge at the net. Quincy has opened it up to an 8-point lead at 20-12. And Connolly pushes it into the net. Quincy by 9. Hurdle at the service line. Short serve. O'Toole sets outside to Connolly, who goes cross court and wide. Quincy by 10. And another service ace by Quincy as Ciccone shanks the ball out of bounds on serve receive. And Quincy now leads by 11, 23-12 in game 2. We'll be back after this North Quincy timeout. Game 2 action. We're back after the North timeout. Quincy has opened an 11-point lead. They lost game 1. They're trying to even things at 1 game apiece. Nice dig by Bonnie Hurdle, keeping the ball in play. And now Scott hits it over. Dolbeck bumps. Middle to O'Sullivan, and she hits it cross court off of O'Toole's arm. 4-point. Quincy by 12, and they're starting to run away with game 2. Middle set to Sidorowicz. She taps it over. Back row set to Cahill, just over the net, dug by Ciccone. Pettinelli sets middle, and O'Sullivan taps it down. She took a quick look at the ref to make sure he didn't call a lift on that one. Number 17 for North, Alicia Wong, in replacing Erin Connolly. Middle set to Sidorowicz. Nice dig by Hurdle. It goes over. Sidorowicz hits it back down for a point. That stops the service run from Bonnie Hurdle. But North trails by 12. Back set to O'Sullivan. Sidorowicz hits it over again. North Quincy fighting over balls. Scott is dug by Mayho. Now Ciccone rolls it over. Dug by Cahill. And pushed over by O'Sullivan. Hit right back by Sidorowicz. Middle set now to O'Sullivan. She taps it down and in. Quincy 26, North Quincy 13. I don't know whether Kristen O'Toole has no confidence in her front row hitters, but she's continuing to set back row, and Mayho hit that one into the net. Bad pass, and another one that goes out of bounds. Quincy within 2 of a Game 2 victory at 28-13. Quincy put their game back together in this game. Started passing the ball, very effective on serve. And North continued to make errors. Quincy eliminated theirs and began to roll. So we have game point in Game 2. Rebecca Sorensen serving, and a lift call on Mayho for North gives Quincy a Game 2 victory, 30-13. We'll be back for Game 3 action in a moment. Beautiful new Hudson High School. Beautiful facility. High ceilings, very appropriate for volleyball. And the only unfortunate problem about it is it's about 45 miles from Quincy. Teams tried to get the game relocated. They were shooting to have it played at Eastern Nazarene College, but weren't able to get it done. So here we are. Eastern Nazarene, that gymnasium would have been packed. As it is, we have about maybe 150 folks here from Quincy to support their kids. Megan Sidorowicz with the kill for North. Quincy in the lead here, Game 3. 2-1. Teams are even at 1 game apiece. This is a best-of-5 match. Nice dig there by Mayho on that O'Sullivan blast. Pettinelli, middle set to O'Sullivan. She hits it into the net. We're tied at 2. O'Sullivan pushes it over and out. North Quincy 3, Quincy 2. And a tape ace by Mayho. Ball just clipped the top of the tape, dropped over. Bonnie Hurdle made a dive, couldn't reach it. Fell in for an ace. North by 2. O'Sullivan passes it up. Ciccone hits it over left-handed. And now Ashley Scott is set. She goes line for the kill. Ashley Scott coming up with some big points in game 2 for Quincy. And it looks like she's going to do the same in this game. That's over. Sidorowicz hits it down. Hurdle couldn't control. Point. North Quincy 5, Quincy 3. Sidorowicz at the service line for North. And O'Sullivan mishits into the net. Point, North Quincy. Scott hits middle. It's dug by O'Toole. Pushed over by Connolly. Now O'Sullivan pushes over, dug by Ciccone. McGinnis taps it. Scott again from the outside. Up off the block. One-handed dig by Sidorowicz. And O'Toole bumps it over, but it goes outside the antenna on the way to the other side of the court. Out of bounds. Point Quincy. Quincy 4, North Quincy 6. O'Sullivan serves it up for Quincy. It's at the net, a joust. The ball's still alive, but Cahill won the joust. North could not control. Quincy with the point. Mayho hits it over from the 10-foot line, pushed over by Quincy. Ciccone now goes line for a point. North Quincy 7, Quincy 5. Aaron Connolly serving for North. Outside set to Cahill over the block. Punched up by Mayho but for North Quincy, but North can't control. Quincy with the point. Number 7, Ashley Scott at the service line. Mayho hits it over. Quincy players looking at each other. That falls in for a kill. Jamie Mullen, number 5, in for North, replacing Ciccone. Jamie, a serving specialist in DS, serves it up. Bumped over by Hurdle. O'Toole sets middle to McGinnis. Outside to Hurdle. She goes line. It's dug by Connolly. Mayho plays the second ball. Now Cahill hits it wide. And a service ace by Jamie Mullen. That floater got past Caitlin Callahan for a point, and North has opened up a 4-point lead at 10-6 in game 3. And that ball goes wide. Quincy with the point. Andrea Pettinelli Perhaps Quincy's best server at the service line now. Connolly hits it over, and again, confusion among North players as to whose ball it is. Sorensen hits across court from the right side, bumped over by McGinnis now for North. Hurdle hits middle, and that goes just long. North Quincy again by 4 at 11-7. Laura Akins in replacing McGinnis. She'll go to the service line for North Quincy. And that ball was just in for a service ace. I think O'Sullivan was not sure whether that was going wide, and by the time she got to the ball, it had hit the floor. North Quincy by 5 at 12-7. And now Akins with a service error. O'Toole sets back to Mayho. It's at the net. And Quincy having some problems, and that's bumped back over by Mayho. The ball drops in. Delacroce in to serve for North. And a double contact called on Caitlin Callahan. Quincy has reverted to its form in the first game, committing even more errors than North. And Delacroce with the service ace. Christine Barrett getting up. She's going to call a timeout with North Quincy leading in game 3, 15-8. We'll be back in a few. Game 3 action. We're back from that Quincy timeout. Maria Delacroce serving for North. North leads 15-8. O'Sullivan tips it over for a kill. Nicole O'Sullivan. Quincy having a very difficult time getting into their offense in this game, just as in game 1, which they lost. Very effective in game 2. It's almost a schizophrenic performance from Quincy. And a kill by North. North again by 7 at 16-9. Hurdle hits from the 10-foot line. It's dug by McGinnis. And a double contact on North Quincy setter, Kristen O'Toole. Rebecca Sorensen at the service line. Middle set to Connolly, and she follows through into the net. Net violation gives Quincy another point. They've closed to within 5 at 11-16. Outside set to Ciccone. Rolled over. And again, we've seen this on both sides of the court tonight. Teammates calling for this ball simultaneously and neither making an effective play. Cahill, O'Sullivan converged on that ball. Cahill hits it into the net. Back set to O'Sullivan. She goes cross court for a kill. Nicole O'Sullivan. As the players rotate, Nicole goes into the back row to serve. She was very effective in game 2 at the service line. Short serve brought up by Mayho. but O'Toole can't get to it. Quincy with the point. Back row hit by Mayho. It's dug by Hurdle. Cahill taps it down for Quincy. And now Ciccone tries to go cross court. She hits it way wide. Quincy with the point. They're within 3 at 14-17. Outside to McGinnis. Maria McGinnis with the cut shot cross court for the point. North Quincy with the serve at 18-14. Aaron Connolly up at the service line. And Pettinelli hits it into the net. Nicole Cahill with the kill from the outside for Quincy. Quincy again within 4 at 15-19. Mayho is blocked at the net, kept alive by O'Toole. Hurdle outside. She goes line for a kill. Bonnie Hurdle. Senior outside. For Quincy, puts it down the line for a kill. Ashley Scott serving it up for Quincy. Outside set to McGinnis. Tipped up off the block. Now Pettinelli sets middle to Cahill, who hits it over the block. Mayho from the 10-foot line. Dug by O'Sullivan and bumped over by Sorensen. Now Ciccone. With the winner, Kendra Ciccone. Having an effective evening from the outside hitting position for North tonight. North in the lead by 4 at 20-16. Jamie Mullen with the serve. Bumped over by Hurdle. Now McGinnis hits middle. And she puts it in for a kill. North by 5 at 21-16. Cahill with the slide. It's dug by Connolly from North. Now right side hit by Pettinelli, punched up by Connolly, but North can't keep it alive. Quincy within 4 at 17-21. Andrea Pettinelli, junior setter at the service line, eclipsed the net. Bumped over by McGinnis. Middle set to Hurdle. She has to step back and is dug. Mayho swinging for North. And Cahill again blocked up, punched back by Scott. Confusion from North. Mayho bumped it over. Cahill now just taps it over, punched up by Connolly, kept alive by McGinnis, but she's called for a lift. Quincy within 3 at 18-21. Kendra Ciccone back in for North. And Pettinelli serves it out. Laura Akins back in, replacing McGinnis. She'll serve. And that one hits the upright. Service error. Quincy again within 3 at 19-22. McGinnis with the overpass. Hurdle hits it back. Just long. North leads by 4 at 23-19. Delacroce with the serve. Cahill hits it over. Pass back by Ciccone. Bumped over by Sorensen. Connolly sets it back to McGinnis, who hits it over. Now O'Sullivan back in the back row, and it's blocked up by Connolly and Sidorowicz. It went over, back over, and Quincy could not control. North leads by 5 at 24-19. Quincy tried to run a slide, but Hurdle wasn't in position. She managed to bump it over, though, and keep the ball alive. And finally, Nicole O'Sullivan just pushed it over. As the North Quincy block formed well behind the net, and it fell down on their side of the court. Bonnie Hurdle at the service line for Quincy. And O'Toole tries to tip over the second ball. She puts it into the net, and Quincy is closed to within 3. Hurdle with a nice floater. And it's hit over for a kill by McGinnis. Nice job on that ball by Maria McGinnis. North back by 4 at 25-21. And a lift call on Quincy setter Rebecca Sorensen. North Quincy by 5. And Quincy calls a timeout, trailing 21-26 in game 3. We're tied at 1 game apiece. Okay, we're back to action in game 3. North holds a 5-point lead at 26-21. O'Sullivan, dug by Mayho. She's set back row, it's blocked up, dug by Hurdle. Outside set to Scott. She goes line for the kill. Ashley Scott. Rebecca Sorensen serving for Quincy. Connolly pushes it over, and she's called for a lift. Quincy back within 3, 26-23. Short serve. Ciccone rolls it over. Bumped up by Hurdle. Scott steps back, is blocked at the net by Sidorowicz and Connolly. North with the point. They lead by 4 at 27-23. Megan Sidorowicz serving for North Quincy. And she gets an ace as O'Sullivan shanks it out of bounds. North within 2 of a game 3 victory, leading 28-23. Hurdle passes it up. Back set to O'Sullivan. She just tips it over. It's bumped up by Connolly. Connolly is set. She hits it over flat-footed, and it clips the end line. North with game point. And O'Sullivan shanks it again. North takes a Game 3 victory. They lead 2-1. Quincy, with the superior record this year, faces elimination in Game 4. Can they come back and tie it up? We'll be back in a minute.
Bob Stores, casual clothes and shoes. Bob carries the brands you like to wear at the prices you like to pay.
Game 4. The teams have switched sides. Team on our right, as one of our fans here tonight has pointed out, has won each game. If that trend continues, we'll have a 2-2 tie after this game. But we'll see how it plays out. Quincy gets on the board first on a double contact called on Megan Sidorowicz. Rebecca Sorensen serving now for Quincy. That ball's at the net. Back set to Sidorowicz. Dug by Hurdle. Middle now to O'Sullivan, and she takes a modified slide approach and hits it off the block for a kill. Quincy 2. North Quincy 0. I really feel that Nicole O'Sullivan has got to be given the ball a lot in this game to get her into the game and to be effective. Ashley Scott with the kill. That ball hugged the top of the net. Dropped over on the north side for a point. Quincy takes an early 3-0 lead in Game 4. Ciccone up over the block. Nice dig by Nicole Cahill. Tipped over by O'Sullivan. Ciccone now. Dug by Sorensen. Scott hits it over. Dug by McGinnis. Now Sidorowicz steps back and hits it over. Bumped over by Sorensen. Connolly hits right side. Nice dig by Bonnie Hurdle. And O'Sullivan is dug by Mayho. Now McGinnis hits it wide. These previous two matches, both of which Quincy won, their positional defense has been very good. And we've seen flashes of it at times, but not enough tonight. Consequently, they haven't been able to get into their offense and get their hitters good sets. But now they seem to be passing and getting their hitters into position where they can do something with the ball. Mayho hits it wide for North. Quincy has opened up a 6-point lead, holding North scoreless so far in Game 4. Middle set to Aaron Connolly, up over the block, and a net call on Nicole O'Sullivan gives Connolly a kill. North Quincy their first point in Game 4, and the serve. Megan Sidorowicz at the service line. Short serve. Scott is dug. And McGinnis pumps it into the net for North. Nicole O'Sullivan. She's only a junior at the service line. Hits it into the net. North Quincy 2, Quincy 7. Nicole Cahill with a cross-court winner for Quincy. Quincy again by 6 at 8-2. Scott with the short serve. North can't control, service ace. Ashley Scott. Quincy by 7. Mayho hits it over. That's over. And McGinnis goes to hit it back, and she hits it into the net. And Jim Rendell calls an early timeout for North, with North trailing by 8 in Game 4. We'll be back after the timeout. Maybe it is this side of the court, folks, but Quincy is running it up here in Game 4. Pettinelli bumps it over. Middle set to McGinnis. And Maria McGinnis with a kill. Caitlin Callahan in for Quincy. Jamie Mullen in for North. Mullen at the service line. North trails by 7. Middle to McGinnis over the block and long. Point Quincy. Quincy 11, North. Quincy 3, Game 4. North holds the lead in games 2-1. If they can win this game, they would take a victory back with them. Move on to the state semifinal. But I think Quincy is going to do their best to keep North from advancing. And confusion by Quincy as Sorensen and Hurdle couldn't decide who was going to play that ball. North with an easy point. McGinnis continuing to serve for North Quincy. O'Sullivan is dug by Ciccone. Now Connolly rolls it over and that falls in. Aaron Connolly putting some top spin on that ball. It died after going over Nicole O'Sullivan's head and fell in for a point. And McGinnis serves it long. Cole Cahill, number 7, also a junior for Quincy. They're still loaded with underclassmen. Serves it up. McGinnis hits it over. It's dug by Callahan. Tipped over now by Sidorowicz, and that falls in for a kill. Megan Sidorowicz with the point for North Quincy. North Quincy is closed to within 5 at 7-12. Maria Delacroce at the service line for North. Hurdle passes it out of bounds. Quincy needs to put in some defensive stops here, get the ball in play, make some good sets, get back into their offense. Tipped over by Mayho. Middle set now to O'Sullivan, up off the block. And a net violation on Megan Sidorowicz for North Quincy gives Quincy the point. Service ace from Bonnie Hurdle. Bonnie Hurdle doing a good job at the service line tonight for Quincy. Quincy again by 6 at 14-8. It's at the net. And O'Toole tips it over for North. Oh. We have a back row attack called on Kristen O'Toole. As she elevated to put the ball over, she's a back row player and is not allowed to do that. So Quincy gets the point, and they now lead by 7. Sidorowicz puts it through the block for a kill for North. But Quincy still leads by 6 at 15-9. Mayho with the floater. Back row hit from Cahill. Mayho back row set. It's dug by Cahill over the net, flush back by Sidorowicz. It's at the net again. O'Sullivan tips it over. And Mayho hits it into the net. Point Quincy. Quincy 16, North Quincy 9. Scott flushes back, bumps it up now, and a middle set to O'Sullivan. She steps back and puts it away for a kill. Nicole O'Sullivan with the point. Quincy leads by 8. Rebecca Sorensen serves it up, passed over by McGinnis. Now punched over by Sorensen. Bumped over now by Ciccone for North. Cahill keeps it alive for Quincy. O'Toole sets outside to Ciccone. Up off the block, it's Doug. Hurdle hits back row. Dug by McGinnis. But O'Toole could not get to it, and Quincy gets another point. They lead by 9. Substitution for North. Alyssa Durrani in replacing Megan Sidorowicz. Other than one serve, this is Durrani's first appearance. She's immediately set and puts it down for a kill. Alyssa Durrani making her presence felt right away. With the point, North, though, trails by 8 at 10-18. Scott rolls it over. O'Toole sets outside to Ciccone, up off the block, dug by Hurdle. Hurdle rolls it over for Quincy. Now Durrani goes to hit it back row, mishits. Quincy with the point. Tonight's winner will advance to the state semifinal against the North sectional finalist. And they, in turn, will face the winner. The winner of that match will face the winner of the South sectional. That'll be played Monday night in Wareham between Barnstable and Brockton. There are only three sections in Division I volleyball for girls in Massachusetts. Each year, one of the sectional winners gets a bye in the semifinal round, advancing automatically to the final. Last year, it was the North winner. The year before, it was the Central winner, North Quincy. This year, it'll be the South champion. Erin Connolly serves it up for North. North trails by 9. And O'Sullivan pushes it into the net. Nicole O'Sullivan, much more effective as a hitter than as a tipper or pusher of the ball. And now Hurdle bumps it into the net. North Quincy 13, Quincy 20. Sorensen bumps it over. And Mayho hits the first ball over. I guess she saw the defense all up at the net. Thought she could get an easy point by placing it into the back row area, but she hit it long. And now O'Toole follows through into the net on her set. Quincy gets another point. Quincy 22, North Quincy 13. Scott at the service line. O'Toole sets back to Mayho. And Scott and O'Sullivan converge on the ball. Can't control, goes for kill. Caitlin Callahan back in, replacing Ashley Scott for Quincy. Jamie Mullen in to serve for North. And O'Sullivan shanks it out of bounds. Cahill with a middle hit. It's dug by Connolly. And McGinnis set middle, puts it away for a kill. Maria McGinnis with another kill. Quincy within 6 at 16-22. And Quincy coach, little confusion on the court. Quincy coach Christine Barrett calls a timeout, with Quincy leading 22-16 in Game 4. Okay, each team has called one timeout now in Game 4. North with the serve. That's bumped over by Callahan. McGinnis hits middle. It's dug. Hurdle is blocked by North. Comes back. And Mullen couldn't decide whether to push or hit that ball over. Chose to hit it, put it into the net. We have a substitution for Quincy, number 12, Leanna Lamb, in replacing Andrea Pettinelli. Lamb will go to the service line. Mayho hits outside. It's dug by Callahan. And now Hurdle hits it into the net. Pettinelli right back in. Maria McGinnis serving for North. Alyssa Durrani in the front row. Sorensen rolls it over the block. O'Toole sets it over the net. And now Sorensen bumps it over for Quincy. O'Toole sets middle to Durrani. Durrani tips. It's dug. Now Cahill tips up off the block. Nice dig there by Mayho. Durrani hits middle for a kill. Caitlin Callahan made a stab for that ball. Couldn't control. North within 5 at 23-18. Cahill sets it outside to Sorensen. Dug by McGinnis. Outside now to Mayho. Up off the block. And Pettinelli sets middle to Hurdle. And she puts it down for a kill. Bonnie Hurdle with the kill. Quincy back up by 6. Short serve by Nicole Cahill goes for an ace. Quincy by 7. Tipped over by O'Toole and popped over by Hurdle. It falls in. Quick reactions there from Bonnie Hurdle lead to a point. And Quincy leads by 8. Connolly passes it up. And it's hit over by Durrani long. Timeout, North Quincy. Quincy leads in game 4, 27-18. Game 4 action. We were returning after that North Quincy timeout, with Quincy holding a 9-point lead at 27-18. Looking to even things up. O'Sullivan bumps it over. Middle set to Durrani. Dug by Callahan, outside now. Or actually, middle set to O'Sullivan, and she taps it down for a kill. Quincy by 10, 28-18. Mayho with a nice dig, but O'Toole, in putting that ball over, is called for a lift. Now Quincy has game point in game 4 at 29-18. Ciccone hits it over for North. It's at the net, and Pettinelli can't control. Maria Delacroce in to serve. Hurdle steps back and puts it over. Bumped over by Mayho for North. And Cahill set. Hurdle a little too far outside. Hurdle followed through into the net. Point North Quincy. Bumped over by Sorensen. Mayho hits it back, and this time it falls in. Sorensen sets outside to O'Sullivan. She's dug by Ciccone, but Ciccone can't get that one. As Nicole O'Sullivan ranged over to her right and put down that overpass. We're going to game 5. The captains will meet at center court. Choose the side they play on. Choose the serve. I believe they alternated 8 points. So we'll be back in a flash. When the team in the lead reaches 8 points, they'll switch sides. So, if our rule of the right side, team on the right side wins every game, they each have an equal chance. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But Nicole O'Sullivan gets the first point on a kill for Quincy. Game to 15. Nicole O'Sullivan rolls it over the block. It's dug by McGinnis, and O'Toole is called for a double. Double contact on Kristen O'Toole. Quincy with an early 2-0 lead. That ball looked like it was going out of bounds, but played by O'Toole, and Ciccone rolls it over for a point. Kendra Ciccone with a point for North Quincy. North Quincy 1, Quincy 2, game 5. Back set to O'Sullivan. Cross court, dug by O'Toole. Connolly called for a double. Rebecca Sorensen now serving for Quincy. O'Toole with the middle set to Durrani. Durrani cuts it. Cuts it short, drops in for a point. Alyssa Durrani with the point for North Quincy. Durrani with the line drive serve. Sorensen sets back row to Hurdle. It's dug by Ho, and now she hits it over. Nice dig by Nicole Cahill. And a double contact is called on, I believe that was on Nicole O'Sullivan, who set that ball. We're tied at 3. And Durrani floats it long. Errors, errors, errors. Very little consistency in this match, but a whole lot of errors. And now Nicole O'Sullivan returns the favor and puts it into the net for a North Quincy point. 4-4. Erin Connolly serves it up for North. And that looked like it was going to drop in. O'Sullivan reached back. Quincy won these 2 regular season matches during the year. They need to keep their heads in the game now because each team is going to be tight. Connolly puts it into the net. 5-5. North has had the experience of seeing their upper class players from last year and the year before win 2 state championships. Quincy in their first sectional final in a number of years. Who has the edge based on that? We'll have to see. O'Toole sets it over the net. It's rammed back down by Cahill. So the North Quincy mistakes starting to add up. Quincy by 2 at 7-5. Ashley Scott with the serve. O'Toole sets outside to McGinnis over the block. Kept alive, but Quincy can't control. Jamie Mullen in to serve for Kendra Ciccone. Caitlin Callahan in replacing Ashley Scott for Quincy. Short serve by Mullen. Pettinelli sets outside to Hurdle. Up off the block, dug by Dolbeck. Now O'Toole sets outside to Mayho. Off the block for a point. We're tied at 7. The winning team must win by 2. Mullen with the floater. Middle set to Cahill. Off the block. And Mayho hits it into the net. No, the teams are not going to switch sides. North will stay on this side. O'Toole sets right side to McGinnis. They've got to put it over here. Now outside to Mayho, up off the block. Quincy can't get to it. North Quincy by 2 at 9-7.
8-8.
I'm sorry, 8-8 is the score. Still trying to figure out who's the home team and who's the guest. Sidorowicz serves it into the net. Quincy 9. North Quincy 8. That's an official score. We're in game 5. Outside set to Durrani. She hits it through the block. Point North Quincy. Maria Delacroce in to serve for North Quincy, replacing Kristen O'Toole. It's passed over by Cahill. It's at the net, tipped over by Durrani. O'Sullivan, middle set off the block. Looked like it was off the block. But the up referee saying it went off the net. North Quincy with the point. Excuse me. Back set to Hurdle. Hurdle tips. Mayho sets now to Connolly. Nice dig by Cahill. Pettinelli sets O'Sullivan. She's dug. Again at the net, and Durrani can't control. Quincy with the point. We're tied at 10. Bonnie Hurdle serving for Quincy, and that just lands inside the line. The North players thought it was out. But it wasn't. Quincy by 1. Hurdle again serving. Durrani bumps it over. Pettinelli, middle set to O'Sullivan. She hits it into the net. We're tied at 11. This is coming down to the end, folks. Sorensen pushes it over on the second ball. O'Toole sets middle now. Durrani. Popped up by Cahill. Bumped over by O'Sullivan. O'Toole again sets Durrani. Blocked right back by O'Sullivan. Nicole O'Sullivan with a big block on Alyssa Durrani. And Quincy jumps back into the lead at 12-11. Rebecca Sorensen serving for Quincy. O'Toole sets outside to Ciccone. Nice dig by Hurdle. Cahill hits it over, and she hits it just wide. Once again, we're tied. 12-12. Game 5. Durrani with the serve. Back set to O'Sullivan. Over the block, dug by Ho. Now Mayho hits it over back row. Passed up by Cahill. Middle to Sullivan. O'Sullivan is blocked by Maria McGinnis and Erin Connolly. North leads 13-12. And Quincy coach Christine Barrett calls a timeout. Quincy trails by 1 in Game 5. North Quincy with the serve. Alyssa Durrani floats it long. We're tied again. 13 all. In a game to 15, but the winner has to win by 2. And at the rate we're going, trading points back and forth, we could be here for a while yet. Nicole O'Sullivan with the serve. O'Toole sets outside to McGinnis. It's blocked up. Sorensen sets outside to Scott. And Mayho hits it over. Cahill. Dug by Dolbeck. O'Toole sets back row to Mayho. Dug by O'Sullivan. Now outside Scott. Dug by O'Toole. Bumped up by Connolly. McGinnis rolls it over for North. Pettinelli outside to Scott. Off the block for a kill. Ashley Scott with the kill. And Quincy has match point at 14-13. North Quincy coach Jim Rendell calls a timeout to try to ice the server. We'll see what happens when we come back. Can Quincy pull it out with this serve? O'Sullivan. O'Toole outside to McGinnis. She hits it over. It's dug by Hurdle. Very quiet in the gym now. Cahill hits it long, just long. Nicole Cahill. Quincy thought they had won it, but you don't win it when you hit the ball out. We're tied at 14. Erin Connolly serving for North. Cahill passes it up. It's at the net. And Sorensen is called for a back row attack. Christine Barrett is discussing this with the down referee, but the call stands. And now North Quincy has game point, and Quincy coach Christine Barrett calls her second and final timeout in Game 5. We'll be back once again with North Quincy at match point. Quinn, focus in on them, okay? Zoom in on them. Okay. Aaron Connolly with the serve. Cahill passes it up. Sorensen passes outside to Cahill, and Nicole Cahill hits it into the net, and North Quincy escapes with a 16-14 win in Game 5, and they win this match 3-2. North Quincy, the surprise sectional finalist, winner at Hudson High School. Quincy High, its players have to be extremely disappointed, but this is a great sign of progress for all of Quincy volleyball, as Quincy has made the sectional final for the first time in many years, and North made it as well. Congratulations to Quincy High. They played very hard and came up just short. Truly a surprise victory by North. And the North Quincy girls are hugging Coach Jim Rendell. Longtime coach in North Quincy, 6-time state champion. And they're going to get a shot at going back again to the state finals this year. They'll move on to play the North sectional winner next week.
Could I have the captains and the coach for Quincy High School for the divisional finalists for their presentation of trophy and certificates?
Captain Caitlin Callahan, along with Coach Christine Barrett, come out to accept the runner-up trophy.
And the team that will represent Central in the state semifinals next week, this week I should say, on Thursday. Congratulations, North Quincy High School.
And now the North Quincy High School seniors will accept the winner's trophy. North Quincy High, 2003 Section State Division I Central Sectional winner. A disappointing end to the season for Quincy. Fortunately, many of their players are juniors and sophomores, and they will be back. They will be improved, and they will be back. This is Ken Shurtleff for Quincy Access Television, broadcasting from Hudson High School in beautiful Hudson, Massachusetts. We have Mike Payne on the camera tonight. Want to thank Mike for filling in at the last minute. Mike brought his family out tonight. He has a couple of sons who play volleyball. Look forward to broadcasting their games in the future. Go down to the floor now and talk with North Quincy coach Jim Rendell on this surprising victory tonight. Hi, we're here with North Quincy High School coach Jim Rendell. Jim, you've been in this spot many times before. What was the difference tonight?
This was a little more unexpected. You know, with the teams we've had the last couple of years, we've had really strong talent in going in. We had a tremendous amount of respect for Quincy, and we knew we had to play our best and have a little luck, and we both things happened. So this is more of a surprise than the others have been. We kind of expected it before, and we wanted to play our best volleyball in November, and we certainly are, and I'm thrilled. They've been working hard at it, and they're putting it together when it counts.
Now, was it your team's play, or was it errors by the opponents that gave you the win tonight? What's the major factor, do you think?
Oh no, I think it was our play. I think we did two things that we had to do. We had to receive serve. We did a much better job than that. We had a couple of runs because they're a very strong serving team. They always have been, and they ate us up the first two games with their serve. So we had to pass serve well, and we did that. I was very pleased with that. We also had to serve well, keep them off balance on their offense. We did an outstanding job of that most of the time. We missed a few serves and we made some errors, but you're at the level where you can't worry about errors. You're going to be aggressive at this stage. You're in the sectional finals. Don't worry about it. Go after each other. And they came after us and we went after them. So you're going to make some errors when you do that, but you'll also make some good plays. And I was very pleased with our serve, receive. I told the girls on the bus, the last thing I said, we have to beat them on serve and serve receive, and I think we did. The floor game was going to be pretty equal.
Now, a lot of people talked about the fact that Quincy hadn't been in a sectional final in a number of years. Of course, North has, and North has also won some state championships. These girls weren't in the rotation last year who played tonight, but do you think that experience in being part of that program and having the kids ahead of them go through it helped them at all tonight?
I think it did, only because it helped me. I was a little more relaxed, so when I'm relaxed, I can let them relax. I told them, hey, let's go out and have fun. Now, of course, my definition of fun is playing well, and they know that, and when you play well, you have fun, so let's just have fun and relax a little. So we weren't uptight at all, and you're here now. We're pretty pleased to be here, and win, lose, or draw, we're going to be pretty satisfied with our season. So I think that aspect of it, the relaxation aspect of it, certainly helped our kids a little bit.
We're just talking with Jim Rendell. We're going to bring over a couple of the seniors from this year's team and talk with them briefly. Thanks, Jim. Hi, we're here with seniors May Ho and Maria McGinnis of the winning North Quincy High School team. Tonight they won the sectional championship, defeating crosstown rival Quincy High. How do you girls feel right now?
Awesome. Unbelievable. Say something.
I feel great.
Now, coming into this game, you had lost both the regular season matches to Quincy. Did you expect to come out with the victory tonight? What did you think coming in?
We knew we were going to go all the way. We knew we were going to win because we weren't going to let them beat us the third time.
The first two times we played, it was completely our mistakes. That's why we lost, so.
We weren't playing up our potential.
Yeah.
We're a way better team.
And so next week you go into the sectional, or what is it, the state semifinal, and you'll play the winner in the North section. What are you guys going to do? I'm sure Coach Rendell has some really great practices scheduled for you next week. You're going to work hard to get there. What do you think you need to improve on for that match? Anything?
Well, there's always room for improvement, but we need to improve a little bit of everything right now just to get up there.
Keeping the ball in, definitely.
Yeah.
Hitting the ball in the court. We hit a lot of balls out today.
Yeah.
But you also made a lot of kills. You terminated a lot of balls tonight in the matches during the regular season. I didn't see that so much, so that was very good.
Yeah, definitely. It's must need it, so I don't
Yeah, it's a good way to score points. Anyhow, we want to thank these girls, Maria McGinnis and May Ho, for coming on camera with us tonight. We wish them a lot of luck in next week's match and bring home another W next week.
Yeah.